Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Parker Zazen coming at you with a Vi combo theory video. I was thinking about just recording some combos that I thought would be helpful after I've played this character quite a bit. But I thought talking through some of the combos, why I go for them, and just the general kind of things that overlap between the combos so that you kind of know the options, I think was going to be valuable too. I've been really enjoying playing Vi, definitely my favorite character. And I just got to Grandmaster, so I thought it was a good time, especially right after the patch, to talk about, if you're just getting started with this character, some combo routes and things that I would keep in mind. So we're going to start with some easier combos that are like more introductory. Then we'll get into the combos that I use, which are like tournament viable. I'll talk about some of our harder stuff and why you would want to go for it and why not. We'll also talk about how to combo off her throws. We'll talk about if you are tagging her in off like a tag launcher, some ideas there, and then we'll wrap up with just a couple of tournament combos I do with my particular team, which is Vi Point and Teemo as the assist. I am doing this live, and so there's going to be some mistakes, but it's easier for me to do it in kind of this lecture style, even if I'm going to make some mistakes as opposed to kind of recording each thing. There'll be timestamps so you can skip to the part that you want, and I'll also show the notation and the damage for each of these combos at the bottom. I'm not going to do too much like team stuff. That'll be for you to figure out. I'm happy to help lab it if you want to leave a comment. But I'll talk a little bit about my particular team. If you want to see Vi Teemo stuff more in depth, you could probably do that on my Twitter, which is linked below. All right, let's get started with some real basic combos. A lot of people are afraid to do electric, so I'm going to show you just two really simple combos if you don't want to do electrics in the beginning. This first one, we're just going to go into her heavy target combo, and that's going to create a launch state that we can combo off with S1, which is this kind of dash punch move, Vault Breaker. This combo is, really basic, and kind of the baseline for is 529 damage is what we should get, kind of at a minimum. The combos that we'll do that are more tournament viable, that build a little bit more meter, and I think are just a little bit better, especially because the electrics are just really cool. And I don't play this character because she's the best. I play her because she's the coolest character in the game, and so I'm always trying to do electrics, trying to do cool stuff. But this is a baseline 529 for this combo. You can add just a little bit to this if you're near the corner. You want to do this light immediately, otherwise this happens. Dang, I'm dropping this. This is not the combo I do. And here I'm going to backdash. Or excuse me, not backdash, just her command back. You see this does a little bit more. Or is that actually identical? I don't know. Anyways, both of those are really good. The reason you might want to end with this, where you're bouncing them off the wall and then backdashing into the light. I keep saying backdashing, I just mean the command dash. Is because you can also go into tag launcher. So if you play a team like with Darius or Warwick or Ari, somebody that gets kind of a lot of damage off like a tag launch, I think this is probably worthwhile to do. Maybe allow E2 so you can get the Super 2 Oki. And so to do that, we're going to go for the same thing where we're mashing the S2 in the corner, but then we're going to backdash and then tag launch pretty quickly. So here I'm going to backdash, and then very quickly you kind of go into it, you go into your super or whatever. I don't do this with Teemo, because Teemo doesn't get that good of a situation out of it, but with a different character you might want to have that option. If you're kind of worried about doing that, you can still tag launch. God, I can't believe I'm dropping this. Sorry about the cursor on the screen, by the way. I'll get rid of it in just a second. You can tag launch just like this. Maybe you play Warwick and you can side switch anyways, or you play Darius and you can side switch anyways. Okay. Alright, so that's kind of the just most basic combo. Again, anytime that you are ending your combo like this, you have a couple options. You can pick up with down S2 and then go into Super 2. This always works. There's not a scaling that makes this not combo, right? You can have an infinitely long combo as long as you want. You can have the hit stun being, at the highest possible point, and this will still work. Also, what will always work if you end your combo like this, oops, I was a little late, is down S2 into level 3. So if you're trying to go into level 3, you have an easy way to do that. The reason I'm explaining all these options on this easier combo is because they're the same options that will show up in our other combos, so explaining them now I think is helpful. You can do like a very basic combo, as we're showing here, into level 3. Sorry, let me have this be normal, but have this go up to 3. God, I'm defaulting to my combo route. I apologize. So really basic combo, no electrics, right? You can get decent damage if you're just worried about going for the kill. All right, so this works just fine. You know, it is what it is. But let's talk about electrics instead. Electrics are way more interesting. They're way funner. You get better corner carry. You get cooler stuff out of them. Although the enders are going to be pretty similar. When I first started playing Vi, I was doing 2 electrics, and that seemed pretty easy. So here, of course, I'm going into the forward S1 into light, and then that's what I cancel into the electric. It's worth noting that I like just booted up. I haven't practiced any, I haven't run through these combos. I like got off work, came home, had the idea for the video all mapped out, and I'm just stepping into this. So these are like pretty reliable for me after practicing them for a little bit, right? Every day I log on and I practice my bread and butters. I used to do these double electric combos, the medium ones, and those look like this. Mess it up there. Mess it up there. Okay. This is not the route I normally go for. You know, something like this is like pretty good damage for what you're doing. Mashing this S2 out, 586, just a little bit more damage than you're used to. I liked doing this mid-screen because you can cancel that second electric into a heavy electric. And then you can go all the way to the corner, right, with a combo like that. The problem with this route is it uses the limit strike right here on the charged heavy. Man, I am dropping this. Okay, so when you bounce that, you use the limit strike, which I was actually using for other things in my combo. For example, if you go for this... Man, I can't believe I'm dropping this. This is not the combos that I do normally. So if I want to go for something like this into maybe like mash S2, this limit strikes because I've used you know, the ground bounce and then the wall bounce there. There's situations with Teemo that I don't want to use that up, so I stopped doing this. Although I see a lot of Vi players still do it, and of course it works in the corner, and it's just kind of a reliable thing here. You can also launch if you want, right, into something like this. Pretty easy combo. This works full screen as well. 580. I stopped doing that because I found some stuff that was a little bit better. Namely, these are the routes that I go for normally. These work mid-screen or closer for this particular thing. The change that we're going to make here is instead of going for double electric, we're going to go single electric into light electric and then medium. This is more like my bread and butter. Here, mashing that S2. A little bit more damage, we're over 600, and then you still have those same options we talked about earlier to get into tag launcher, or if you want to go into level 2, super 1 or level 3. So from here, I can either tag launch, right? Again, it's pretty useful for certain situations. I can also go into the other level 1 there, which is going to be more damage. Okay, so this is slightly more damage than the other way. Oh, I hit it a little bit late. This is a Teemo thing, but also it can work against anybody. Against most characters, that won't happen. To guarantee it, you do it immediately off the light. You just missed that little bit of a medium, also 600 damage. So, kind of a cool route. You could also go into level 3 off this. So in the same way, right, straight into level 3. Pretty good damage for a solo route. Part of the reason I'm showing this over and over is because this is my actual tournament route. This is the one that I practice, and I drop it very, very, very rarely. This route with the medium, light, medium is just really reliable. I really like this route a lot, and it works again from like mid-screen or closer. So if you're getting a hit on like the opening interaction that you have, you can push them all the way to the corner. And you can see this version, 767. This is the electrics that I recommend, but you do you. One of the issues with this electric combo is it doesn't work from full screen. The second electric just misses, so I do need an alternate route for this. This is annoying to some people. I've played Vi a lot, so I'm always looking for these small optimizations. I started with those double medium electric combos, then built into this, and now I'm like finding other things to do. So let me show you my full screen route that I've been doing, which I think is pretty effective. The important thing here is that I want a combo that from any hit on the screen, I'm getting good damage, I'm not sacrificing damage, and I'm able to push them into the corner into whatever Oki or tag situation I want. So here's, this isn't a combo that I came up with, but the one that I like the most. Oops. So this combo, it's full screen. You'll see it does a similar amount of damage to the triple electrics. One thing that I want to kind of mention here is that in the beginning, when I was trying to get the link after the dash punch, you have to dash, and then I'm pressing medium. That's going to help your scaling quite a bit. When I first started this combo, it felt like it was only possible to hit light off of that interaction, but the more I do it, it's become very reliable. My advice for you as you're working on it is as soon as that light charge electric goes off after the medium, you want to cancel that into the dash punch, just S1 immediately. As long as you do that, they're high enough. You can also do your routes to like side switch or get the tag launcher if you want, even if it's full screen. Right, if you want to go into something like this, you totally can. Okay, so in short, the routes that I do if I'm mid-screen or closer are triple electrics. Like this, and then, you know, whatever you want. And then if I'm full screen, I go for the other route. I think that those two routes are probably all that you need. You can get anything you want out of those. If you want to transition into tag launch, you can do it. If you want to add an assist, it's pretty easy to do. I'll show you how I do that with Teemo, but I'm sure there's options for you as well. And yeah, that's that. Anything else that I want to share about these normal routes? Oh, I guess I am looking for the most optimal. And so I have practiced like routes with more electrics. Like we can do triple medium, for example, which I don't think should be too hard to hit. A little late there. I used to have these actually, but they're a lot of practice. This is the one. Ah, it's annoying me. I really don't think these are as hard as they used to be. I think I'm just tired and haven't practiced them for a while. And you can get, you know, stuff like that, but the problem is that happens every time. After the, in between the medium and the heavy finisher, they'll flip out if you have too much hit stun scaling, so you can't do too many electrics. So then you can do other stuff. I don't feel like I'm wasting your time, I apologize. You might just have to take my word for it that it's not even optimal even when you do this. And again, this isn't necessarily that much harder. I just haven't practiced it as much. Alright, so you can do something like this. For all that extra work, you get less damage than the combo that I showed you that I do normally. So triple electrics are very cool, but they add a bunch of hit stun scaling, and it doesn't end up even being worth it. The other combos that you think might be more optimal, that surprisingly aren't, are these loops. You can't even get a... I think you can sometimes get this 5M to connect, but the hit stun scaling is so much, you can't get much else. So then you can do stuff like this. No, I apologize. I defaulted into my bread and butter because I'm not paying attention. So you can do something like this, right? Where you're doing all those electrics. A little bit tougher to do than the combo I showed you, and it doesn't even hit 600 damage. There might be some optimal stuff that I'm missing here, but it is my opinion that if you just do the triple electrics, 1, 2, 3, into the charge dash punch, this is a very reliable combo. I like never drop this one. No, I never drop it for two reasons. One, I practice it a lot, but also I just think it's a lot more consistent than the medium electrics, and even some of the other things that I showed you, like this, where you have to hit the light right away, and it feels like they could drop. That's just like a little bit. I don't think that there's very much more to get out of this situation. I think that that's about optimal. I'll be looking for more stuff. I'm always looking for a little bit more damage because I really don't think these electrics are inconsistent even in a tournament setting. Because I play offline at my local, I do sometimes practice these combos with no sound because on certain setups I won't have sound. If you're more serious about competing, I recommend doing that as well, so you're not relying on the sound cue. It's all just kind of muscle memory at that point. Alright, a couple other things I wanted to show you. The first one was comboing off throw. What most Vi players do is this. They dash up and then do down S2 and then mash this super. You see we get 358 damage out of this interaction. I'm going to show you something that Vi can do to combo into Teemo that I think that Vi could probably do into most characters. I haven't labbed it that much, but definitely it's worthy of checking out. What I'm going to do is after the throw, I'm going to dash, just a micro dash. I'm going to jump into the air and do down S2 for the pickup. While that's going on, I'm going to tag, I'm going to assist, and then tag into Teemo, and then I'm going to jump up and catch him. Again, this is pretty consistent. And the nice thing about this is I get back into Vi, and I can go into a combo, and now I'm getting 468 damage. With no break bonus, it's just an extra 130 damage for nothing, as long as I have that assist ready to go. I think it's pretty likely that your character has something here too. At first it didn't seem possible to me, especially mid-screen. The trick is, again, you want to dash, jump, and then do it. And then you even have time, if you do this correctly, that once you tag in, you'll have time to kind of dash forward before jumping. So I can go into this, I can go into this, I can go into level 3, right? This is big damage from anywhere for a throw. It's a lot easier to do in the corner, but I just wanted to show you that it works mid-screen. The fact that with no break bonus I can do 620 damage to close a round on a throw is pretty good in my opinion. If I'm in the corner, I just dash up, do the down S2, and then tag in. Just like this. Okay. Now's probably a good time, since we're talking about it, is some of her options that she can get off of the tag in, where you're tagging into Vi into the air. So I guess now's probably a good time to talk about that. And then we'll return and talk about some of the combo, or the command grab routes. A lot of times, because I play Teemo, actually let me do it like this, I want to end Teemo's combos. If I'm not in the corner, I can't get like a super mushroom super, so what I want to do is finish into Vi for the corner. So let me show you some things that work even when your hit stun scaling is like at its maximum after a very long Teemo combo. For example, let me give him super 1, basic, here we go. So if you go for like a real traditional Teemo route here, I'm going to save it right here so I can show you some different things. First of all, the way that your team or character maybe operates is that they've already used Limit Strike. And so that's a big problem, because when I do this charge S1 and they hit the ground, it slumps them. So if you've already used one instance of your wall bounce or your ground bounce, you don't get this combo. You get a Limit Strike instead. Okay. That's a pretty big problem in general, and it normally means that we can't combo into super, because if it limit strikes, which I'm not showing here, but if it limit strikes, level 1 won't work, and if it limit strikes, level 3 won't work either. So one way that we can avoid this is if you do charged heavy, you can land and go straight into Super 2. Right, and you can get some decent damage here, even without the limit strike limitation. What I showed earlier, though, was if you try to land and do 2S2 into Super, no matter how fast you do it, if you're at the end of a long combo, it's not going to work. This is notable because you also can't, level 3 doesn't pick up off the ground, so that doesn't work, and Super 1 doesn't pick up off the ground, so that doesn't work. So if you've used Limit Strike in your combo, your only option is land and then do Super 2. If you still have your Limit Strike available, like I do here, I recommend the Charge S1. And I recommend this for a bunch of reasons. The first one is you see that we have a little bit of a slump. That creates a reset opportunity for us, but it's also just optimal damage. What I typically do is just this right into level 1. That is 738. If I do the same thing into charge level 2, Super 2, it's a little bit less damage, and I save myself some tendinitis. One thing that you can do is combo this into mash S2, and then you can go into the super. This is slightly more damage, but it's a little bit finicky. Sometimes it drops. I'll give you the advice of why it drops. When you're doing this charge S1, if you want to get the mashed S2 afterwards, you just got to hold the button the entire time. That's what creates the slump. If I don't hold the entire button, then sometimes it just feels like holding it down the whole time is what allows me to get this charge S2. If I don't do that, sometimes it will whiff, right? Now this is just a little bit more damage. I do think it's worth it for very small situations. I think most of the time it's probably best just to go straight into super off this interaction. And again, as long as you haven't used your Limit Strike, it always works. You can also go from here into level 3. And again, this is significant because if you do a different combo, like doing the charged heavy, you can't get into level 3. Also, if you do like just a button into this also doesn't combo into level 3. So your only option off the tag to get into her level 3, which is sometimes the option you want to go for, is charge S1, and then go for it like this. I did mention that we can reset off this situation. I'm going to show that now. So this is fake, as you can see on the kind of frame thing up there. I'm minus 12, but it does trick people. If you've done this combo a couple times and you've ended it with Super 1, right, this is a pretty reliable thing to do. It's easy to hit confirm. What I normally do... I know I dropped it. Okay, so that's an option there. So if you're tagging into Vi, I think just doing the charge S1 is your best option. It also pushes them pretty close to the corner. So if you're 3/4 screen or more, they'll probably end up in the corner. You definitely won't get the charge S2 if they're not in the corner, but you will get other stuff. Okay. So we talked about throw and why this is good. Oh, my medium didn't come out, which sometimes happens in this interaction. I think it's a bug. Okay, but let's also talk about command grab. Again, most people command grab like this. They either go straight into level 1, which is 370 damage, or when they command grab, they go like this, which when you mash this is 398 damage, which is pretty good. But again, we can tag here from just about anywhere. If we're in the corner, same situation. S1. There you'll see I have the Limit Strike. So if I'm in that situation, I can't do the charge S1. If I want to go into super, I'll show you what that looks like. I can't even cancel into super there. Sometimes it will let you. I don't know why it's not letting me now. But sometimes you will Limit Strike. You'll do the super, and then it just doesn't combo. So this is one of those situations where, again, you want to use charge heavy. Oops. By doing charge heavy here, don't use the ground bounce and I can get into it. This combo is now doing 488 instead, which is much more significant. This does work full screen. Oh, that's not full screen, that's mid screen. I want you to know that I'm not pressing my controller right now. I wonder I was getting some of those input errors earlier. Again, you can get this. I don't think this is Teemo specific. I think you can get this with most characters. The trick here is just like with the normal throw, little dash, then go up into it, and then you'll see me kind of run forward with Teemo for just a second before I jump. Again, the timing's kind of tight, but it's definitely worth it. Extra 100, 150 damage for free. Okay, so far we've covered the combos I do half screen or closer. We've covered the combos I do full screen. We covered when I'm tagging into Vi. We've covered combos off throw. So these are all pretty valuable things. And now, just for fun, I'll show you some of the routes that I go for with my Teemo Vi combo. You might not play Vi and Teemo, but this hopefully gives you some inspiration on some things you can do. Okay, so from full screen, for example, I'm going to do the same route that I showed you. But I can do mushroom. And this is really great. This is a touch of death combo from full screen against Teemo, but nonetheless, I saved my limit break. Oh, I dropped it. What a scrub. I want to show that it touches of deaths. Touches of deaths. If you're still watching, I appreciate you. I am tired today, y'all. I always do the grass here because it's a nice frame kill. I never drop this, but today I will. And the super didn't come out. That's so strange. Anyways, you're seeing 692 here. If I went into level 3, Teemo's almost certainly dead. I do something similar here. I can double assist. You might not have double assist. I like it. You don't get the burst bonus till here, so I just go for it. And then here I can like level 3 or something and kill somebody. Does quite a bit of damage. Again, I know not everyone's playing this team, but just some ideas on how you can pick things up. And then just for fun, I can use the limit strike to my advantage sometimes to set some certain things up with Teemo. This is the combo I used to do. I don't know if I'll be able to do it anymore. Oh, I did the wrong order. I'm supposed to do grass first. Anyways, you can get a pretty good Oki situation off of this. Anyways, y'all, hope that was helpful. In the future, I'm thinking about doing a video that's about her mix-ups, about her Oki, and just neutral in general, what buttons to press and why. But this is just supposed to be an introduction for you to digest some combo theory things so that your Vi can become a little bit more optimal. If you have any questions or want me to help you lab with a certain setup, matchup, or if you have something that you think works better, more consistent, more damage, please let me know. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.